Hi, my name is 𝐷𝐼𝐴. Welcome to my channel. Today we shall be talking about what to me is the best investment option for a beginner, is the most superior investment option for a beginner, especially if you are found around the part of the world where I am, in Cameroon, in Central Africa. So we shall be talking mutual funds. So what is a mutual fund? In other parts of the world, it is known as a collective investment scheme or unit trust. What is a mutual fund? A mutual fund is simply a pool of funds. It's a pool of funds that comes from many investors. Pool of funds from many investors. So imagine you have a basket here. Oh, my basket. Imagine you have a basket here and different investors put in money. Different persons put in money. So many people put cash and you have money. So a mutual fund is just a pool of funds from many investors. Simply. So different people put in money and then you have a pool of money from so many persons that you can use to invest. That is a mutual fund. Okay, so this fund capital is then used to buy different kinds of assets. In some cases, we have it being used to buy stocks, to buy bonds, to buy land. And like in our case, the BlueMOON Agri Impact Fund, we are using it to buy equity in vetted funds. So the funds of a mutual fund is used to buy different kinds of assets. Okay, one important aspect about mutual fund is that this fund is managed by professionals, by professional portfolio managers. So they do analysis, they do research, and they find modules where this money can best be used to for the best interest of those who put in the money. Then they do it for them. So it is managed by professional portfolio managers. Yeah. So since money comes from many different investors to make up the pool, one beautiful thing about mutual fund is that it's very accessible. You can start with very small amounts of money compared to other kinds of investment. Since it is a pool, individuals bring in small amounts of money, many of them. It makes a pool for us so that you can now get this pool to invest. So that makes it very accessible to just almost the average citizen is able to invest in the mutual fund. Okay, we shall move one step further to be talking about mutual fund in the CEMAC region. Mutual fund in the CEMAC region. When I talk about the CEMAC region, I'm talking about the block of countries that includes Cameroon, Gabon, Congo, Central African Republic, and Chad. So these countries make up what is called the CEMAC region. So in the CEMAC region, mutual funds are called collective investment scheme in transferable securities. Collective investment scheme in transferable securities. And there are two kinds that are permitted by regulations. There's the Fonds Commun de Placement, FCP. Fonds Commun de Placement, this is, I just prefer it in French. That's the first kind of mutual fund. And the second kind of mutual fund is the SICAF, Société d'Investissement à Capital Variable. The SICAF, this is the second kind of mutual fund. Okay, so there are two kinds of mutual funds in the CEMAC region. And as we said before, mutual funds in CEMAC are called collective investment scheme in transferable securities. The first one, the Fonds Commun de Placement, FCP. In this case, the fund invests in assets that do not have a legal personality. The assets here don't have a legal personality. But in the second case of SICAF, the assets have a legal personality. They are companies, to put it simply. So in the first case, the assets, they don't have a legal personality. It means when you invest, in the case of FCP, you are becoming a shareholder of the fund, of the mutual fund, not of the assets that you are investing in. So you become a shareholder of the mutual fund. But in the second case of CECAF, when you invest here, you are a shareholder of the company, because CECAF is actually a company. It's actually a company. You become a shareholder of the company. So this is what makes the difference between the two kinds of mutual funds in the CEMAC region that are permitted by regulation. I also want to mention that the CEMAC region, these funds are supervised, are regulated by what we call COSUMAF. So this is the body that regulates funds in the CEMAC region. And there is also what we call the host banks. So if you want to invest either in the 𝐹𝐶P or in the CECAF, you have to go to the host bank. So the banks in Cameroon, like the African First Bank, the BSEC, and all the other banks, if you go there, then you can access some of these mutual funds and invest in them. So that's how it works in the CEMAC zone. Okay, I will be giving a number of reasons why mutual funds are the best investment option for a beginner and why they are just the superior investment option, especially in this part of the country. So number one reason I want to give is that with mutual funds, a significant number of small investors pool money together and then they can invest. So one benefit of this is that a loan investment has usually been reserved for the wealthy. Because, for example, if you have 500,000 francs, you cannot hire a professional investor to work for you. But with mutual funds, if many of us come with 500,000 francs and we create a pool, then we can together from this pool of funds hire professional investors, hire fund managers, hire PhD holders, financial analysts that will work for us. They are going to do analysis for us. They are going to research for us and make decisions on where this money can best be invested. So alone, we cannot, but when we come many together, we are able to hire top tier managers. Okay, so on point number one, I just demonstrated that mutual funds democratizes professional investment. It democratizes professional investment. On point number two, I want us to see that with mutual funds, we are able to conquer one of the largest single risks, which is the lack of diversification. So imagine you alone as an investor having maybe 50,000 or 100,000. It will be difficult to have that money being invested in different things. But when we come together and we put this 100,000 francs, so many of us, individual investors, we put it into this fund, we are able to take that money and invest in different kinds of assets. So one mutual fund can invest even in 50 different companies. So in this way, if one of the things that the fund invests in is not performing well, the other may be performing well, and it still gives you an opportunity to make profit. Now, imagine you alone taking your money, maybe 100,000, 500,000 francs, and putting it in just one investment. And at the end, this investment does not work well. You can imagine it. So you make total losses. But with mutual fund, this your money, we put it together, and you have investment in different kinds of assets, though you had just a little amount of money. Like in the case of the BlueMOON Agri-Impact Project, we shall be investing in vetted funds around the country. So you put in your 500,000, I put mine, others put theirs. We are able to take this money. We can invest in a plantain agriculture. We can invest in a cassava farm. We can invest in a tomatoes farm. We can invest in a goat farm. We can invest in different things, in an orange plantation. And in this way, if one is not doing well, the other may be doing very well, and we still have the chance to make profit. So diversification is one of the biggest singular risks, and mutual funds permit us to handle that. Okay, on point number 3, on why mutual fund is just the best investment option for you, is that with mutual fund we can get access to otherwise inaccessible investment options. We can have access. There are certain investments that require a very large amount of capital to be able to participate in this investment. But when we come together, we are able to put our funds together and raise that amount of capital, and we can partake in that kind of investment together, which individually we may not have the ability to partake in such an investment. Also because of time, there are certain investments that are inaccessible because it needs a lot of time, a lot of research, and even knowledge. It needs all that. But with mutual funds, we have the experts there who manage for us, and we can put our money together and we can partake in some investments that may have been inaccessible if we have to partake in them as individuals. So this is the third benefit of mutual funds. The fourth benefit I want to talk about is that mutual funds offers liquidity. What am I saying? You can get back your money anytime you want. You can sell your assets. And remember, you will sell it at the net asset value. You sell it at the net asset value, which may be far higher than the amount you put in at the beginning if the fund has been performing well. So you can sell your asset anytime to the management company and have back that investment that you put in, and have even more than the investment you put in. So this makes it very liquid. This is opposed to you getting your money and maybe going to invest in a particular company. If you go directly and invest and maybe something comes up and you need your money back, you may not be able to get it back. But with mutual funds, which are regulated in the scenario, you can sell your assets anytime back to the management company and get back your initial investment. On the next point, I want to say mutual funds are regulated. There is an oversight. There is a body that supervises mutual funds in the CEMAC region. This is a very important benefit, which means the reports that the fund managers provide to you are supervised to make sure they are transparent and they are a reflection of the current state of the assets. So in this way, you cannot be victim of Ponzi schemes because they are regulated, as I mentioned before, by CEMAC. So this is another very important benefit of investing in a mutual fund. So for a new investor, you will see with me that the barriers to entry are just too high. Very high risks, very high capital requirement, a lot of time needed, a lot of expertise needed, and so on and so on. But mutual funds overcome all of these barriers and make it one of the best places to begin as a beginner. So why not join us for our BlueMOON Agri Impact project and see what it has for you? Just check on the link below and join our Agri Impact project. Again, this has been 𝐊𝐿𝐴𝐿 for BlueMOON Investment PLC. Today we have been talking mutual funds. So to enable us continue to do this, I want to invite you to please subscribe by clicking below or like our page. In this way, we'll continue to produce more content about investment as we together move towards achieving the mission of creating 1 million investors earning 1 million francs in passive income. So we are making passive income a right in Africa. Join us, like our page, and keep following us. Thank you.